then third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and ninth. So obviously you can see that third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, these are the consecutive dates that we have. So we have learned about the trick to do this is. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This channel, Data Science, is all about trying to learn various concepts in data science by practicing a lot of questions. This video is in continuation of the series where we're trying to learn Python by solving interview questions from top tech companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. If you're preparing for any of these roles, this is a great series to follow and build your concepts. So yeah, let's jump right in. In this video, we are going to solve this question on status scratch regarding consecutive days. This question has been asked in Salesforce and Netflix interviews, and it's a great question if you're preparing for data engineer, data scientist, data analyst, or ML engineer roles. Okay, the question reads: find all the users who were active for 3 consecutive days or more. So we are given a data frame called SF events, and our expected output is a pandas data frame with one column, basically the user who was active for 3 or more consecutive days. Okay, let's inquire about this data frame called SF event. So it has 3 different columns: date, account ID, and user ID. And then we need to find out, okay, which user has been active for 3 or more consecutive days. Okay, so we have solved a similar kind of question in our lead code SQL series as well, where we learned about how can we find out when number are consecutive or not. So let me just go and quickly recap the concept that we had. Let me switch to Excel. So let's say here you have certain dates. So you have 1st of April, then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 9th. So obviously you can see that 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, these are the consecutive dates that we have. So we have learned about the trick to do this is you can rank these in ascending order. So obviously the 1st of April gets rank 1, then the next one gets rank 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you have the ranks, then if you subtract the dates and the ranks, you are going to get certain dates. So from 1st of April 2024, if you subtract one day, you are going to get 31st of March 2024. Now, if the dates are consecutive and the ranks are increasing by 1 as well, the difference between these is going to be basically the same date. So from 3rd of April 2024, if you subtract 2 days, you land up at 1st of April 2024. Now, since 4th of April is a consecutive, so the number of days increased by 1 and the rank also increased by 1, so the difference will remain the same. And similarly, we can have for everything. Now, once you have this, then you can clearly see that if you group by this difference and count, you are going to say that, okay, 31st of March 2024, there is only one count. So there are no consecutive dates. In the difference that came out to be 1st of April 2024, basically there are 4 different dates who satisfy or who are continuous. So, we can try to incorporate the same logic in this question as well. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to perform a rank. So let me go ahead and let me create a column called rank. And basically, how are we going to do? Here we need for every user ID who were active for 3 or more consecutive days. So what we need to do is take the SF events and then group by the user ID column, and then take the date column, because we need to rank by the dates for every particular user ID. That is how you are going to know that whether a particular user ID was active for 3 or more consecutive days or not. So take the date column and perform the ranking, and the method should be dense. So method is equal to dense. Let me return the SF events data frame and see whether this new column was created or not. So you see here we have the rank column created. So now we are at this stage. So we have the dates and we have the ranks. Now we need to perform a difference. So let's create another column called difference. So let's create a column called difference, which is going to be basically SF events. Take the date column and then subtract the rank. Now subtract the rank not as a number, as the number of days, right? Because this is a date time, and from date time you need to subtract number of days. We need to convert these ranks from number to days. How can we do that? Simply use pandas dot to date time, and then which column we are going to convert to date time? Rank column. So SF events, take the rank column, and what is the format that we want? We want days. So %d for date. Now let me go ahead and return the same thing. if I go ahead and run this, let's see what do we get. So now you have a difference. If we look at it, we are at this stage. Then we need to see that, okay, now let's go ahead and group by the difference to see if there are consecutive. But since in the question we want for every user ID, so we need to basically do dot group by the user ID column and then the difference as well, and then basically do dot aggregate. Let's create a column called number is equal to, let's take any column, right? We just need to perform a count. So let's take the account ID column. You can take the date, you can take the user ID, it does not matter. Let me just take the account ID column and perform a count. So, and let me just reset index so that we are able to visualize both of these columns. Now if I go ahead and run this, so here you have user ID and the differences and the number of times. So basically now you can see that how many dates are consecutive for various user IDs. So user ID 1 has been active for 2 days, then at another instance for 2 days. Now, this might be confusing that if this is 2 and 2, why this is not 4 and why they are not in the output? Because if you look at our output, they are not in the output. See, just think about it. Here, if you, let's say you had 3 and 4 and then you have 6 and 7, you can be active for 2 consecutive days but at different times, right? So that is how this is needs to be interpreted. So if you look at, if I scroll back to down and here you have U4, so at one instant this person was active for 3 consecutive days. Similarly, if you look at U6, here also you have a 3, but in the output you do not have it. And I am going to share the problem that we have with the current method and how can we resolve this. So from this, we are only concerned about those rows where number is greater than or equal to 3, because that is what our question asks, 3 consecutive days or more. So what we can do is we can use dot query to basically filter, take the number column that we created and it should be greater than equal to 3. Let me go ahead and run this now. So here now you have 2 different rows and in the output we only need the user ID column. So, and this should be as a pandas data frame. So I need to provide it as a list. So I need user ID. Let me go ahead and run this. So now in the output you have U4 and U6. U6 is missing from the expected output. Now let's inquire about what the problem is. So here, if I just scroll back, I will just show you. So here U6, if you think right, there is actually duplication. Let me just switch back to Excel and try to show you the problem that we have. So here, let's say you have the dates 1st of April and then there are 4 different entries. So basically duplicate dates, and then you try to rank. So obviously, since we learned that in dense ranking, if there is ties, so basically these are the same thing. So it is a tie. So it will have same ranks. Now, if you subtract the difference and group by this and count it, you are actually going to get count 4. But is it exactly continuous dates? No. You see, that is the problem that we are facing in this particular method. So the obvious solution is drop duplicates. So you do not need to do anything. All you need to do is, just before starting, what you can do is you can say that SF events should be equal to, take the SF events data frame and simply drop all the duplicates that we have so that we do not face such problems. Let me go ahead and run this now. So now if you look at it, you have only user ID U4. Let me go ahead and submit to pass all the test cases. So yeah, everything is green and we are same as expected output, right? So yeah, this is how we do it. What we basically did was we dropped the duplicates, right? Let me just drag it down. We dropped the duplicates. Then we grouped by the user ID, took the date column and perform a ranking using dense ranking so that we are going to calculate the difference, because if the dates are consecutive, the ranks will increase by 1 as well and the difference is going to be the same. So once we had the difference as well, then we grouped by the user ID and difference and created a column called number of times. Basically, the dates are consecutive. We reset the index and kept only those rows where number is greater than equal to 3, because that is what our question is asking, and we kept the user ID column. So yeah, this is how we do it. Let me know if there's a better way or more efficient way to solve this question. Let the solution be in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.